rooster starts a-singing long before the break of day, and the coffee pot is humming like it never learned to stray. I lace my boots together by the back door, worn and thin, with the dust of generations on the leather and the skin. The sun comes creeping slowly up behind the weathered shed, painting gold across the wheat fields where my grandpa once had bled. There's a stillness in the morning you can only hear out here, like the heartbeat of the country, whispering soft and clear. I walk down to the pasture where the dew still grabs my jeans, watch the cattle move like shadows through the early gentle greens. I lean against an old fence post carved by time and storms, thinking how this land has shaped the place where I was born. These mornings on the old dirt road teach me stories never told, about the simple way a sunrise makes a weary heart unfold. Yeah, the world feels far and frantic, but here time moves soft and slow. I was raised and I still rise on that old dirt road. Mama's in the kitchen, frying eggs on cast iron flame. Daddy's in the workshop fixing tools that never came. The radio plays static mixed with Nashville on the line, reminding me of summer nights and days I called divine. I hop up on the tractor just as noon begins to rise, and the heat rolls through the valley like a truth without disguise. The horses in the distance kick up dust along the ridge, and I remember childhood moments running barefoot by the bridge. Sometimes I dream of city lights, of crowds and fancy shows, but whenever I get too far gone, the land is what I chose. 'Cause no matter where the highways of this world may let me go, my heart wakes up each sunrise on that old dirt road. Evening settles softly where the fireflies come alive, and the world that felt so heavy finds a reason to survive. The stars spin silver stories only country folks can read, and I thank the Lord for giving me the simple things I need. This land has been my teacher, my foundation and my home, and no matter where I'm headed, I'll return here when I'm grown. So I hold this truth within me as life's chapters shift and low. I was raised and I will stay on that old dirt road.
Kept the letters that you wrote me in a box beneath the bed. Every promise, every secret, every tender thing you said. Some nights I read them slowly just to feel you close again, but the ink has started fading like we never could sustain. I tell myself I'm healing, but I stumble every time. Your shadow lingers softly in the corners of my mind. I thought but here I am still learning why loving you hurts this much. Without a care, back when every little sunrise meant another dream to share. But time can be a thief when it decides to twist the road, and somehow we lost pieces that we never meant to let go. The moments keep returning with a tenderness so deep, like the sound of you beside me when I couldn't fall asleep. Sometimes I swear I hear you calling from a memory's touch, and I realize once again why loving you hurts this much. Forgiveness took its time and came knocking at my door, I'd let the past unravel and I'd hold you like before. But the truth is that I'm learning that the heart is fragile, such that when you love someone that deeply, letting go will always hurt this much. I used to keep my heart quiet, tucked away behind the fear, but something in the way you left lit a fire that brought me here. I drove through every memory till the roads all felt the same, and somewhere past the city lights I finally called my name. Now I'm standing on the edge of everything I used to doubt. Learn to turn the pain to power, learn to let my voice grow loud. You thought leaving then I'd crumble, thought I'd break beneath the rain, but every storm I carried only put lightning in my veins. all the nights we held on tight. But loving you was learning how to lose myself in quiet fights. Now I'm raising up my voice like it's the anthem of my name, and every step I take is burning with the lightning in my veins. So if you hear the echoes of the girl you thought you knew, just know she's not the same one who kept waiting there for you. She's the storm behind the sunshine. She's the truth the world refrains, and she finally learned her power from the lightning in her veins. Ooh.
I still find your shadow waiting on the front porch steps, as if the night you walked away never really left. The wind still carries your perfume through these old pine trees, and every quiet corner feels like you're calling out to me. The clock keeps ticking, but the memories stay. Your laughter in the hall, like it never went away. This house was built on promises whispered in the dark, and now I walk these empty rooms with the way you left my heart. I drive the same dirt road we used to ride at 17. Windows down, your hair dancing soft in the summer breeze. I replay the way you held my hand when life got rough, saying love was simple if we didn't give it up. But time has a way of moving faster when you're gone, and the nights feel longer than the miles I've driven on. I still pray I'll see your smile glowing under the stars, 'cause nothing breaks as quietly as the way you left my heart. Some nights I pick up your old letters just to feel you close, reading every line like scripture, hoping you still know that I meant it every time I swore I'd never let you fall. And if you ever needed me, I'd always answer your call. But life pulled us down different roads we couldn't see. Still I'd trade 1,000 sunsets for one more night of you with me. People say I should move on, but they don't understand this part. You can leave a place too easy, but not the way you left my heart. I sit on the back porch watching daybreak slowly rise, coffee in my hand, last tears fading from my eyes. And I wonder where you are, and if you feel the same, if the sound of my name still lingers in your chest like rain. If someday fate decides to bring you home again, I'll be right here waiting, letting go of every pain. Until then I'll keep the porch light burning softly in the dark,
hoping love finds its way back to the place you left my heart.
I saw your name light up my phone just past the city line. Funny how a single message brings you rushing back to mind. I've been driving with the stereo loud enough to drown the past, but every song that comes on seems to pull you back so fast. I told myself I'd moved on, that I'd learned to let you go, but tonight the sky is pink and gold, and it feels like you should know. I still think about those summer nights you held my trembling hands, promising the world was ours if we just learned to take a chance. I've been dancing in my bedroom like you used to watch me do, spinning barefoot on the carpet, wishing I was dancing into you. I try to keep my heartbeat steady, but the truth is breaking through. No matter how far around the rear view keeps leading back to you. I bought a brand new dress last week, the kind you always loved, soft and white and flowing like the clouds you're dreaming of. Sometimes I wear it in the mirror just to feel your presence near, laugh at how the little things can make the past sound so sincere. My friends keep saying I should close the door and let you fade, but if love was that easy, girl, no heart would ever break. I've been learning how to smile again, learning how to breathe, but I still lose myself remembering how your arms wrapped around me. I stopped by a rural corner cafe, ordered your favorite tea. The waitress said she hadn't seen your face since last July 3. I smiled and said I hoped you found something bright and new, but inside I felt that quiet ache the world once lived with you. Some nights I lay awake replaying everything we tried, all the dreams we sketched in pen, not ready to say goodbye. And maybe love is messy, wild, and sometimes overdue, but mine still beats in rhythm to the time I spent with you. So if you're staring at the skyline, feeling lost or torn apart, know that someone out there still carries pieces of your heart. If someday you feel that pull, that soft familiar cue, just follow those heartbeats in the rear view. They'll always lead you back to something true.
I hit the highway right at sunset with the radio turned up loud, boots tapping on the floorboard, feeling wild and country proud. I got a full tank and a long week that I'm ready to shake off. and a honky-tonk up ahead where the neon never shuts off. Wind is rolling through the window like it's pushing me to go, and the sky's a shade of amber that could make a preacher glow. I've been working hard for days now, trying not to lose my mind, but tonight the open road and rhythm's all I let myself find. So I'm rolling down the highway for a two-step tonight, where the fiddle's gonna scream and the moon's burning bright. Got the dust behind my wheels and the freedom in my sight, and I'm pulling up to that bar for a highway two-step tonight. There's a little place in Texas off a road they barely name, where the barkeep knows your troubles and the band don't play the same. Folks come drifting in from miles, cause the floorboards shake just right, and the dancers spin like taillights on a long-haul truck at night. I parked my truck beside a Chevy with a million stories told, walked inside and felt the rhythm grab my heart and take control. The steel guitar was crying, but the drums were hitting strong, and every boot inside that room was stomping right along. So I'm rolling down the highway for a two-step tonight, where the fiddle's gonna scream and the moon's burning bright. Got the dust behind my wheels and the freedom in my sight, and I'm pulling up to that bar for a highway two-step tonight. A pretty girl with silver earrings caught my eye across the floor, said she'd dance if I could keep up, and I said, baby, say no more. We twirled around like we were flying down a back road curve at dusk, laughing like we owned the night with nothing but a spark and trust. Her perfume mixed with whiskey and the warmth of summer air, and for a moment I forgot the weight of every worn out care. She said she loved the sound of engines and the thrill of open lanes, and I told her that the road had always called me by my name. Now we're rolling down the highway for a two-step tonight, windows down and hearts on fire in the soft neon light. Got the dust behind our wheels and the future shining bright, and we're heading to that bar for a highway two-step tonight. When the morning finds a timberline and paints the sky with gold, we'll still be laughing about the stories that the night refused to hold. Maybe love begins in places no one writes about at all, just a honky-tonk, a highway, and a two-step in the fall. Yeah, we're rolling down the highway for a two-step tonight, where the fiddle's gonna scream and the moon's burning bright. Got the dust behind our wheels and the freedom in our sight, and we'll keep chasing down that bar for a highway two-step tonight. I've been chasing down the highway with the night wrapped around me, just a suitcase full of memories and a heart that won't break free. The radio keeps whispering all the words I couldn't say, and the road keeps pulling forward while the past begs me to stay. Your name keeps drifting softly
through the hum beneath the wheels, like a ghost that's riding shotgun in the silence that I feel. I roll the window down just to hear the wind explain why the ones we love the deepest are the hardest to contain. The miles of memories between us run longer than this road. Every turn reminds me of the love I never showed. And though I keep on driving, I can't outrun the truth. The miles of memories between us are the ones that lead to you. I passed a little river bridge where we carved our names in oak. The letters faded slowly like the promises we spoke. I pulled over for a moment just to breathe and clear my chest, but the tears came without warning, like the ones I always pressed. I thought time would make it easy, thought the distance made me strong, but the farther I get from you, girl, the more I know I'm wrong. These back roads hold our laughter like it echoes off the rain, and I feel you in the places where the sunlight hides the pain. The miles of memories between us run longer than this road. Every turn reminds me of the love I never showed. And though I keep on driving, I can't outrun the truth. The miles of memories between us are the ones that lead to you. I stopped beside an old motel where we once spent the night. The neon buzz like broken dreams flickering in the light. I walked inside the lobby just to feel your presence near, but found nothing but the quiet of a truth I didn't hear. Sometimes I swear the highway knows the things I try to hide. It keeps bringing back the feelings I once buried deep inside. And though the sky is opening like a map of silver blue, every star that shines above me leads me right back home to you. The miles of memories between us run longer than this road. Every turn reminds me of the love I never showed. And though I keep on driving, I can't outrun the truth. The miles of memories between us are the ones that lead to you. And if someday I find the strength to face what's overdue, and I'll follow every fading mile straight back home to you. Because no matter where I wander or what I'm going through, the miles of memories between us always carry me to you.
The sun was barely rising when I turned the key and drove away. This old truck groaning like it knew I'd lost more than I could say. Your goodbye lingered on the porch like a shadow that wouldn't fade. And every mile since then has felt
like a debt I never paid. I took the highway out of town just to calm my restless soul. But the farther I got from you, the heavier the wheels seemed to hold. The radio played those songs we used to dance to late at night, and I swear I heard your laughter drifting in the morning light. I pulled into a diner on the edge of some forgotten town. A waitress smiled kindly, said she knew that look of breaking down. She poured me coffee, asked if home was somewhere far behind. I just nodded, trying hard to hide the miles of you on my mind. This road keeps winding like the memories I try to shake. Your face appears in every mirror, every curve, every heartbreak. I tell myself I'm moving on, that I'll leave your ghost behind. But you show up in the wind every time the pines align. Sometimes I talk to the silence just to feel you close again, telling stories of the nights we swore our love would never end. You were soft like summer rain, gentle as a whispered prayer, and losing you has taught me life ain't always fair. I stopped beside a river where we carved our names in stone. The water still runs steady, like it's carrying all I've known. I traced the letters with my thumb and felt the years rewind, back to a time before I had these miles of you on my mind. As evening settled on the hills, the sky turned amber gold. I felt that familiar ache that comes whenever nights grow cold. So I turned the truck around, let the headlight kiss the dark, thinking maybe heading home could mend the cracks inside my heart. If you're still there on that front porch watching sunsets fade to blue, maybe you'll hear this engine hum and know I'm coming back to you. 'Cause every road I try to follow always leads me to the same sign. No matter where I run, I carry miles of you on my mind.
Sunsets painted gold across the fields, where every lesson I was given came from stories time revealed. Mama told me strength was quiet, Daddy taught me how to stand, and the dust upon my boots became the pride of where I am.
I loved you in the simple ways the country knows by heart, with honesty and fire that don't tear a soul apart.
But you walked away one evening like a shadow in the rain, and every drop that hit the dirt was just a witness to the pain. So I tightened up my laces, pulled my jacket through the cold, and leaned upon the wisdom that this small town life had told. That a woman born from clay and storm can rise from any part, with the dust upon her boots and the fire in her heart. I drove past every memory on that long and lonesome road, the barn where we would dance, the creek where all our secrets flowed. like the fiddle in a back porch band that plays till night is done. Though my voice was trembling as I whispered out your name, I felt the strength returning like a slow but steady flame. You might have thought you broke me, thought I'd surrender, fall apart, but roots like mine don't loosen when there's fire in my heart. I stopped beside the mountain ridge where we carved our dreams in oak, traced the lines with shaking hands until the memories finally spoke. They told me love is sacred, but it ain't meant to hold you down. And sometimes losing someone leads you right where truth is found. The steel guitar was crying through the speakers of my ride, but its sorrow blended gently with the thunder in my pride. I realized I'm the kind of girl who don't forget her start, made of dust and bone and bravery, with fire in her heart. Now I'm walking toward the sunrise with my head held high again, and the world don't look so heavy when you learn what's yours within. If you ever wonder how I found the strength to make a brand new start, just know the dust upon my boots still carries fire in my heart.
Evenings on the front porch feel like heaven on the ground, when the crickets start their buzzing and the world stops spinning round. Mama rocks beside me humming the song she learned when she was small, and the twilight paints the treetops like a watercolor wall. Daddy comes in from the pasture with the dust upon his sleeves, telling stories about the long day, all the things the land believes. He leans back in his old chair, carved from lumber he once cut, and he swears no place on earth could match the peace that rises up. Front porch evenings and firefly lights, gentle glows of summer nights, a country breeze, a handshake sky, a place where all the world feels right. City folks may chase the heights, but I'll stay here with firefly lights. Kids chase glowing sparks of magic through the grass in bare feet cold, and the dogs curl on the stairway like a tale the porch once told. A banjo hums from down the road as neighbors gather close, and we laugh about the weather like it's something heaven chose. Grandma knits another quilt while Grandpa taps his cane in time, and I swear the porch remembers every moment, every rhyme. It was here I learned forgiveness, here I learned to love and lose, and the fireflies held stories in their tiny golden hues. When the storms roll through the valley and the lights from town go down, we just sit beneath the rafters letting thunder shake the ground. 'Cause no darkness steals the comfort that the porch brings every night. We are held by firefly lights. If I ever leave this homestead and the world calls out my name,
I'll remember every sunset burning brighter than the flame. And when I miss the gentle voices and the simple calm delights, I'll close my eyes and travel back to firefly lights and front porch nights. I left that old dirt driveway with a suitcase full of worn-out dreams, the kind you pack in silence when you're breaking at the seams. The morning fog was hanging low like it didn't want me gone, and I swear I heard your whisper telling me I should hold on. The radio played those old-time songs we loved at 17, back when life was easy and the world felt soft and clean. I cracked the window, let the breeze roll memories through my bones. Every mile I drove reminded me of the place we called home. Stopped by Jenkins General Store where we bought our Friday nights, cold soda in your hand, laughter shining in your eyes. Miss Jenkins asked how you'd been. I told her I didn't really know. She just nodded like she felt the truth in what I couldn't show. I hit the highway heading south with nothing but the past in tow, trying to outrun feelings that refused to let me go. But every stretch of open road pulled me deeper in the pain, 'cause leaving you behind was a choice that never eased the strain. I passed a church with the white oak cross where we prayed on Sundays. You'd squeeze my hand so gentle like you'd never drift away. Now the pews hold dust and echoes, and the choir sings alone. And I wonder if you still hear my voice in the place we called home. By sundown I was thinking about the promises we swore, how love would last forever even when our hearts grew sore. But life got busy, nights got long, and pride cut straight to the bone. Now all that's left is a man chasing ghosts on the place we called home. I turned around at Miller's Bridge where we carved our names in pine. I traced those faded letters, wishing yours were still by mine. The river moved like time does, steady, cold, and never slow, carrying pieces of the life we lost so many years ago. Late tonight beneath the stars, I'll face what I've tried to hide. I never stopped loving you, though I've kept it locked inside. If you're out there watching sunsets with your porch light softly on, maybe you'll let my footsteps find the place we once called home. And if that door is still open like it was in better days, I'll walk through with all the words I should have found a way to say. No matter how far I wander, how long these wheels have roamed, my heart keeps turning back to the place we called home.
There's rain on the window of an empty room, soft as the echo of a half-forgotten tune. Street lights blur like teardrops on the glass, and every drop reminds me of the years we couldn't last. Your picture on the dresser wears a smile I used to know, back when every little sunrise meant we had somewhere to go. Now the clock just ticks in circles, hands too tired to keep the time, and I sit here with the raindrops tracing all that once was mine. The kettle whistles in the kitchen for a cup I never poured. I keep meaning to move on, but I still listen for your door. The chair across the table holds the shape of what we were, and the rain keeps tapping gently, like it's whispering of her. There's rain on the window of an empty room, and the thunder rolls in slowly like a low, unfinished tune. I light a single candle just to hold the growing dark, and watch the shadows dance around the ruins of my heart. The world outside goes rushing by with umbrellas, boots, and coats, while I'm inside this quiet house afloat on old love notes. I used to meet you at the porch when storms would shake the town, but now the only thing that trembles is the way I fall back down. Watched it falling in this place. I hope a tender part of you still shines through all you've known, and feels a little less alone when the rain sings softly on its own.
I've been driving down this red dirt road with fire on my mind, kicking up the dust of every moment I left behind. The wind is pulling at my jacket like it knows where I belong, and the echo of your leaving only made me twice as strong. I used to fold my heart in half just to fit inside your lines, but now I wear it on my sleeve like a badge that finally shines. These boots were made for standing tall, not begging you to stay, and every chord I strike tonight is burning through the gray. I hear the thunder song. There's a rhythm in my freedom that I never felt before, and I'm kicking down the walls you built and walking out the door. I remember every promise whispered soft beneath the moon. Every time you swore you'd stay, then disappeared too soon. But now the strings are screaming out the truth I tried to hide. My heart ain't breaking anymore. It's beating like a riot. That steel guitar is crying like a storm that won't sit still. But it's mixing with the power that I feel in every thrill. I'm done with second guessing, done waiting in the choir. Tonight I stand with every note, running wild through the fire. I see your shadow in the distance, like a ghost I used to chase. But now I know I'll find myself in every long lost place. These hands are made to carry dreams, not chains you left behind. And every mile I move ahead rewrites what's mine to find. So if you hear that engine roar and think it sounds like me, just know I found the courage in the girl I'm meant to be. I'm the storm behind the headlights, the spark in every wire, and I'll keep running, running strong, running wild through the like I was ready for a fight. Hit the road with country blasting just to make it through the night. There's a honky-tonk past Cedar Hill where I used to feel alive. So I pointed my old Chevy there, just trying to survive. The neon lights were glowing like a welcome from the past, and the fiddle from the doorway cut right through me way too fast. I walked in keeping steady, though my heart was barely whole, and the sawdust on the floorboard felt like comfort to my soul. So she two-steps through the missing with a smile she doesn't feel, spinning hard to hide the heartache that the whiskey can't conceal. She keeps dancing through the memories like she's fighting not to break, 'cause every song reminds her of the love she couldn't take. A cowboy tipped his hat to me and asked me for a dance. Said he'd help me lose my worries if I'd give him half a chance. I took his hand politely, tried to let the moment shine, but every turn reminded me you once held this waist of mine. The steel guitar was crying like it knew the way I ache, and the drummer kept on pounding like the heart I couldn't fake. I twirled across the hardwood with a fire in my eyes, but the truth kept breaking through me like a storm I can't disguise. back door when the music got too strong. Leaned against the faded brick and wondered where it went so wrong. The moon was hanging heavy, like it felt my quiet pain. And I whispered to the night sky just to say your name again. I thought the dancing might erase you, thought the fire might make me tough. But the truth is that I loved you deep, and losing you was rough. Still I won't stop moving forward, won't give up the girl I know. I'll keep walking, keep on turning through the rhythm's ebb and flow. And she two steps through the missing with a strength she didn't choose. Every beat becomes a battle, every chord a little bruise. She keeps dancing through the memories, though her heart is still at stake. 'Cause every song reminds her of the love she couldn't take.
Walked through this old world like she was made of quiet light, turning every tired morning into something almost bright. Her hands were always gentle, never forced a single thing, and the way she held a sorrow made it feel like early spring. You'd find her in the corner with a stray dog in her lap, mending broken wings and poems other hearts let fall through cracks. She spoke in simple phrases, but her eyes could fill a room, like she carried all the summer in the middle of our gloom. We were clumsy, rough around her, like the world had always been, dropping words like heavy stones against her fragile porcelain. Still she smiled and stayed beside us when the nights were long and mean, like an angel in a thrift store dressed too soft for what she'd seen. Tried to tell her once or twice she ought to fly away, that this town would never treat her like the dawn she was each day. She just shook her head and said, I'm needed by the broken ground. But I swear in every footstep she was barely touching down. One morning found the hallway bare of all her little things, just a note upon the table, folded corners like two wings. She wrote, don't let my leaving make you think you came up short. I just learned the sky was calling me in ways I won't retort. Sometimes when the evening falls and crickets start their sound, I feel her somewhere soft and close, not walking on this ground. And though I miss her kindness in this rough and restless town, I know in every memory she was never meant touch the ground. Da 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 da, da 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 da. Da 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 da. There's an old red barn behind the house that's older than my name. Its boards are cracked and weather-beaten, but it stands there all the same. It's where I learned to swing a hammer, where I learned to lend a hand, and it's where the soil first taught me what it means to love the land. I fed the horses in that barn before I even reached my teens, stacked the hay in crooked towers, swept the floor until it gleamed. Daddy showed me how to mend a board the time and storms had split, saying, son, you fix what's broken, never run away from it. It's the barn that built my heart, where the hardest lessons start, where the sweat of honest labor meets the grace of simple art. Every scar and every timber is a memory torn apart. I was raised and shaped forever by the barn that built my heart. I'd hide up in the rafters when I needed space to cry, watching sunlight through the shingles paint a heaven passing by. The smell of hay and cedar felt like shelter from the pain, and that barn became the one place where my soul could breathe again. When the storms came roaring down and tore the valley from its sleep, that old barn shook but held its own with roots and rafters deep. It taught me that true strength is found not in never shaking heart, but in standing firm and faithful even when your world is scarred. Years have passed and life has taken me through roads both harsh and kind, but I still return to moments that barn carved inside my mind. And whenever doubts surround me or the world feels torn apart, I remember how I learned to rise in the barn that built my heart. And now I'm teaching my own children how to care for what we own, how to honor every footprint left on wood and dirt and stone. And I pray they find the courage that once set my soul apart in the quiet, steady wisdom of the barn that built my heart.
She stood beside the window as the morning touched the floor, holding on to pieces of the night she couldn't bear anymore. The house was filled with silence, like a lesson left unlearned, and every tear she shed was just another bridge she burned. She gave her heart in whispers no one ever cared to hear, hid her bruises in her laughter, turned her anger into fear. But even in the shadows there was something in her eyes, a fragile kind of current for waiting for its time to rise. She walked out through the doorway with her suitcase bring you down. Just remember there's a woman who once broke but didn't drown. Let her voice remind you gently that your soul is meant to rise, that the fire you learn to carry is the truth that never dies. I've driven past the state line where we carved our names in oak, through the storms that tore the sky like promises we broke. The headlights paint the darkness with the memories I chase, and I find you in the quiet when the night fills up the space. This old truck knows the heartache that I never learned to hide. Every mile is just a heartbeat echoing what's left inside. I thought distance held the answers, but it only grew the truth. No matter where the road bends, it circles back to you. I've watched the sunrise bleeding gold across the open fields, felt the wind confess the secrets that my restless soul revealed. I've tried to lose your shadow in the long forgotten towns, but your voice remains the melody that never once died down. There's a